name is JINTING. Today, my presentation focused on financial derivatives for marine sustainability and how financial strategies can support sustainable development goals for life below water. Overfishing is a serious global changing. Many fish stocks around the world are currently explored beyond sustainable levels, which strengthens the marine ecosystem and reduced biodiversity. When fish population climbed, the impact goes beyond the environmental damage. It also affected the long-term economic variability of the fishing industry and the livelihood of fishing communities. Traditionally, fisheries management has relied mainly on regulation and quotas such as the maximum sustainable yard or MSY. These policies aim to limit catch volumes and allow fish stocks to recover over time. In series, MSY provides some from the work towards sustainability. However, in practice, the effectiveness of the policies is often limited. One important reason is that overfishing is not only an environmental problem, but also a economic and a risk management problem. Fishermen operate in market characteristic by pricing volatility and income uncertainty. If these economic pressures are ignored, regulations along the may face the resistant or weak compliance. Therefore, this presentation explored where financial derivative can act as a complementary solution. Rather than replacing regulation, derivatives may help to reduce the economic pressures and support sustainable fishing behavior. Fishery prices are highly volatile and unpredictable. They are influenced by many factors, including climate change, weather conditions, season supply fluctuations, biological recovery cycles, and changes in global demand. As a result of this volatility, fishermen often experience unstable income. When market price for their cash flow is directly affected. This is especially changing the for small fishermen who usually lack access to the financial buffers in insurance or formal risk management tools. In response to decline the price, a common short-term strategy is to increase cash volumes in order to maintain income. From an individual perspective, these behaviors may appear rational. However, when many fishermen respond in the same way, the overall effect becomes harmful. Higher catch volumes increase pressure on fish stocks and resource depletion. Over time, this leads to lower fish population, reduced the future yield, and the even greater income instability. This creates a negative feedback loop between economic pressures and environmental degradations. Therefore, a price volatility and income uncertainty become key economic drivers of overfishing, showing that the problem is closely linked to market risk rather than simple weak regulations. And Next, the overfish the from the a global perspective to the scale of the overfishing is significant. About 35 of global fish stocks that are currently exploited beyond the sustainable levels. This indicates the long-term pressures on marine ecosystems and highlights the urgent of the issues. At the same time, fisher market experienced high price volatility. Price fluctuates over time due to changes in supply, demand, and environment conditions. These fluctuations increase the uncertainty and financial risk for producers. Income uncertainties place a stronger short-term survival pressures on fishing when income unstable. Compliance with quotas and catch limited become more difficult uh, partic- particularly during the period of the low price. In some cases, these pressures may also increase the risk of the illegal or unreported fishing. This suggests that traditional regulatory approaches alone may not be sufficient without addressing the underlying the economic incentives faced by fishermen. Sustainability policies may strategy to achieve their intended outcomes. Next. In this content, financial derivatives offer a potential economic solution. Fishery derivatives that can be designed based on standardized fisheries assets, such as the sustainable fish projects. A real-world example is Simon the future contract trend on the Euronext. Further, the contract allowed fishers or projects to lock in selling price in advance. This means that even if spot price declined in the future, income losses can be uh, part- particularly uh, faced through the game in the future market. Um, by reducing the exposure to price the risk, future contract reducing the need of fishermen to increase catch volumes during the period of low price. Instead of responding to price declines by fishing more, fishermen can realize on financial having to steadable income. From an economic perspective, this can help balance the short-term incentive with long-term sustainability growth. As a result, pressures on marine marine resource is reduced, supporting the sustainable fishing under SDG 40s. Um, and the uh, under the MSY-based management, oversheet resource often require the 10 to 50 to recover. Doing this recovered period, catch limited at hunting and fishing activities is restricted to allow the fisher population to rebuild. Long-term overfishing can also reduce the overall yield by about 50%, further affecting the fisher's income. This recovered period created stronger economic pressures, especially for communities that depend heavily on fishing. As a result, the MS policies are often difficult in enforced in practice when fishermen face the income instability. Their willingness to comply with long-term sustainable and method may decline. Financial derivatives cannot replace the MSY as the coin fisherman management tools. However, they can play a supporting role by stable income during the recovery period. For example, the using salmon the future has been shown to reduce the income volatility by about 28%, which increased acceptance of quotas and sustainable fishing policies. And next, in conclusion, financial derivatives shouldn't work as a sustainable for fisher regulations. Instead, they can help to transform the market and price risk ensures a more stable cash flow for fishermen when combining the regulation tools such as MSY and derivatives that can improve the effectiveness of sustainable policies. Financial tools and regulation should work together rather than the two spot SDG 40 left below the water. From a boarding perspective, overfishing is both an environmental and economic issues. Market incentive, the stronger they influence the fisher behavior. Therefore, effective solution require a balance between economic sustainable and economic protection in order to achieve long-term marine sustainability. Okay, thank you for your listening.